Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast. The show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Iesha, Jimmy, and Damon Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Yo, good morning. Another episode of Habari Live. Good morning, Habari County, my people. We are thrilled to bring you the latest edition of Habari Live, your go-to podcast for the post of Phoenix and beyond. As always, we are all the way live in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Damon Ellison and my co-host,
Iesha.
We will be your guide through the exciting stories and everyday happenings in our vibrant community, your weekly dose of inspiration, innovation, and insightful conversations from the heart of our city. So let's get it going, man. A crazy week. Crazy week. We've watched Trump pretty much start a war with Venezuela. We've watched them try to make excuses for these chats that were racist and homophobic and just misogynistic. Everything you can think of, man, that these chats were that came out this week. And the young Republicans that happen to be old put out a whole bunch of racist comments, and it's insane, man, to see JD Vance and others make excuses, and we'll go into that as we start getting into the videos. We watched as Caroline Leavitt tell everyone that the Democrats are down with Hamas. Let's start it off by running that video real fast. Let's listen to Caroline Leavitt.
Proved that the Democrat Party's main constituency are made up of Hamas terrorists, illegal aliens, and violent criminals. That is who the Democrat Party is catering to, not the Trump administration and not the White House and not the Republican Party, who is standing up for law-abiding Americans, not just across the country, but around the world. And that.
Yeah, man, that stuff's depressing, man. She just, all the lies, man. I mean, liberals down with Hamas. We were just talking about this before we came on. You know, we watching Hamas murder people in the middle of the streets. You think liberals are down with Hamas? That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy. No, I don't understand. Just because people are pro-Palestinians do not mean they're pro-Hamas. You know, I did see Mondani would not say that he thought that Hamas should leave Palestine, and I was kind of surprised with that. He wouldn't say that. I don't understand anybody who's with Hamas. That's crazy talk. And you know, like I said, we just watch these people execute people, and 4 or 5 people in the middle of the street. Anyone that's down with these people are, you know, you got to be crazy. That's crazy talk. But we had a lot going on this week. Let's get the lovely Iesha to tell us the rundown. Let's get it going.
For sure. This week, a lot has happened, as you were saying. One of the things, a few of the things that caught my eye this week was that California will now require an allergen disclosure on restaurant menus. Starting July 1st of next year, California will mandate that all restaurants with 20 or more locations will have to disclose major food allergens such as milk, eggs, shellfish, tree nuts, peanuts, wheat, soybeans, sesame, and fish in their menu items. The law signed by Newsom makes California the first state to enforce an allergen labeling for many restaurants. And supporters are saying that this increases safety and transparency for diners who do have allergies, while critics are saying that the critics include the California Restaurant Association. They're trying to warn of compliance costs and liability risks. And it's basically it to me it's a good thing that restaurants will be required to show what their allergens are on their menus, because someone who may not know, like, hey, this particular sauce that's on your plate may have an ingredient that you are allergic to.
I get it.
And they're saying that the violations could lead to misdemeanor penalties up to $1,000 through though the law exempts small operations and food trucks. So if you have fewer than 20 locations, you may not have to implement this particular law in your
because it's definitely going to be expensive for small businesses to implement this on their menus, because you got to redo all your menus. You have to redo all your setups that you handing out every day. It's going to cost a lot of money. So I would understand them saying they can't come from the small companies. But yes, definitely is something that the people are dying from allergies. I mean, it happens, unfortunately. So we don't want that happening to people. So California is usually in the front of a lot of things like this, and it's just a different interpretation of something that's been going on for years, man. And hopefully, this helps out. But definitely, it will cost a couple dollars, and I can see the companies being concerned with that.
Right. I mean, they're under the new law. The restaurants they may use a separate printed menu. They may use a QR code or a separate allergy chart that could meet the state's requirements for that.
Right.
Another thing that caught my eye this week, sadly, was that a Massachusetts school employee has passed away after trying to restrain a student. 53-year-old staff member at a therapeutic residential school in Swasnia, Massachusetts, collapsed and later died after being kicked in the chest by a 14-year-old student. The incident occurred when staff attempted to prevent the student from leaving a dorm without permission and intervened physically. The student, whose identity is being withheld due to their age, they do now face charges of assault and battery causing serious bodily injury.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, I definitely would not try to physically restrain a 14-year-old. That's a little too old, to you should be getting security or someone else. I don't understand. That's crazy. You don't want this to happen to teachers. But man, why y'all was trying to restrain this dude? Was he trying to hurt someone? Y'all should have called security. That's not something for you. And then if it's a male or female, if it's a male, even more. And I don't like to speculate because you don't know all the details. But at the same time, it's like, goodness, why was this lady trying to restrain? Like,
Right.
Sad news. Definitely something that's sad. But I definitely need to know a little bit more, because I don't understand why you would try to restrain this kid. With knowing, I mean, anything could happen when you start getting physical and they try to physically restrain someone, and you're just a teacher.
Right.
We don't want teachers to start getting into those things. I know if I was a teacher, I wouldn't want to have to physically restrain anyone and things like that. Maybe little kids, but when you start getting into the 14, 15, 16, these people don't. I mean, you remember Jimmy at 14? This dude was like 6'4",
right?
So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's a good move.
Exactly.
But hopefully we get more information out about this. But definitely a sad story
for sure. Also, this week, President Trump commuted the prison sentence of George Santos.
Oh man.
Santos was serving more than a 7-year federal prison term for fraud, and identity theft.
Mm-hmm.
And he's commuted his sentence, although this will stay on his record. It won't be expunged or hidden from his record, but he has had his sentence
It's
commuted.
commuted. He wasn't pardoned. He was just commuted.
Right. He was just commuted. Right. It does not vacate the conviction, but he has been immediately released.
Yeah, we saw the photos of him. You know, it still looked like he was in there eating good.
Right.
You know, but
I mean,
yeah, it's crazy, man. If you're cool with Trump, it's a get out of jail free card.
exactly.
If you're in the Republican Party, you don't have to worry about facing any consequences for anything you do, because Trump's going to just get you out. You know,
Right.
you don't have to worry about that. All criminals are, you know, on the. They know they can just get out. So Santos is not a real light guy for the things that he did. The way that he was voted in by cheating, and just his whole entire campaign was just lies. He his dollars
Misused donor funds.
was misused funds, and he's still gonna let this dude out.
Right. And his identity theft.
Yeah, man,
People.
I did think it was kind of crazy that Joe Biden pardoned some of his people. But now that we see that what Trump is doing, we kind of see why Joe Biden pardoned his people beforehand, because we knew we now see what Trump was going to do.
Yep.
He's going after everyone.
Right. And
so for Biden to do that,
it's understandable.
We already know why he did it, because Trump is on something, and he is on something.
Yep, exactly. Because, I mean, you know, it's kind of crazy that he's commuting the sentence of George Santos, who's committed identity theft and fraud, when he's going after people like Letitia James for mortgage fraud. Like, how can you persecute one person and let the other person go for the exact same shit? It's just because she doesn't agree with you, because she goes against everything that you say, because she prosecuted you. Is that the reason why we're doing that here?
Yeah. Joe Biden's son was prosecuted while Joe Biden was in office.
Right.
The Republicans will be crying up in arms if that happened to them. They would be acting a fool. You see Biden on the revenge trail? You see Biden trying to do anything? He did preemptively do pardons, because look at Trump, what he's doing.
Trump was going to do.
Right. Look what Trump's doing right now. He's going after all his political foes. So obviously they already knew that Trump was going to do this. Yeah, man, he was smart to do it.
Right. Real smart.
Man. Dog. No, right, exactly. All the fraud that's coming from the right now is insane. Especially all the money they're making from all this stuff is insane right now.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Tom, yeah, we're not gonna go there.
Who cares?
Journalists this week turned in their badges and exited the Pentagon over the new reporting rules this week. Dozens of outlets covering the United States Department of Defense have turned in their press credentials and vacated their offices rather than accepting the restrictions on the reporting.
The most transparent administration ever, still trying to put the blinds over your eyes.
Right.
The most transparent, still trying to take away the First Amendment from journalists. The most transparent, they're doing everything they can to make sure that reporting doesn't go out. It's wild, man. They're supposed to be so open. What is happening? What is happening? To see all of these people. Man, this is wild, man. How much money is the right making from all these things? Man, they're making a lot of money, and they're making sure that fraud is not even investigated at all. All money to investigate fraud has been removed. All groups that investigate fraud has been removed. Trump and his administration, they're making money hand over foot, right in front of our faces. They're making deals with Qatar and all these different places. Dude the guy from Indonesia, where's Eric for we can make a deal? Just openly making deals. Yeah, it's a deal I got to do with them.
Right.
Like hey man, this is crazy. Kushner, well, man, they getting, yeah, man, they're getting so much money, man. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Why did Letitia go after Trump? Well, he was found guilty, so it looks like the reason was a good reason. I mean, when you're found guilty, it's not
On fraud.
it's you were found guilty. They had a mountain of evidence.
Criminally convicted 34 times.
I mean, I don't understand why y'all protect this guy. Oh, they went after Trump. Well, they were just supposed to let him get away with crimes just because he was the president. Is that what you guys expect? I mean, that's the way we're going nowadays. If Biden committed crimes, I would think that they would go after him and arrest him also. Like, why would Trump be the person that gets away with things? It doesn't make any sense. It's silliness, man, that y'all sitting around here talking about what someone else should have been able to get away with. I mean,
Exactly.
she was supposed to go after him. He was a fraud. He was a criminal before he even got into office. He had been doing so much fraud. People knew that he was doing that with his properties, overstating how much his properties were worth.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's crying that they went after him. So now he wants payback. Why you been cheating for years? We know for decades he's been cheating out his contractors, not paying money for his contractors that put in work. He treats people like trash and never pay people when he's supposed to. This is something that Trump has been known for decades and decades, since the 80s. Now everybody want to act like, oh, they just went after him for nothing. Nah, they went after him because he was a crook.
Right.
And that's why he was found guilty. But I know the court of law means nothing to Republicans anymore. They don't care. They can drop the saying that they're the party of law and order, because they are not. They are the party of criminals and cons. That's what they are. That's real. He's always been a con man.
Yep.
Always will be. And he's always been one.
Mm-hmm.
And for anyone that's trying to argue the same, different, anything different, is crazy. Dude is a con. You got anything else?
Yeah, we do. There were some key takeaways this week. I don't know if you guys were watching, but we happened to see this week that the Supreme Court of the United States heard some arguments in the case of Callais versus Louisiana, which could significantly weaken Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. Now, this particular section that they're referring to is the core provision that prohibits voting practices that discriminate on the basis of race, even without proof of merit. Some of the key takeaways that I found that needed to be highlighted this week were that conservative justices signaled skepticism toward longstanding interpretations of Section 2 results test, which is whether voting maps dilute minority voting power, and that's according to Reuters. Justice Brett Kavanaugh also asked whether or not race-based remedies under Section 2 could have an endpoint, suggesting that using race in redistricting only is acceptable for a small period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And the court requested supplemental briefing on whether the creation of a second majority Black congressional district in Louisiana, which is drawn in response to a court order under the VRA, violates the 14th or 15th Amendments, which signals the courts to question whether or not Section 2 itself is consistent with the Constitution.
Oh, man.
I don't know. It's a lot, because Brett Kavanaugh is the key deciding factor here in this particular case.
It's over.
And we already know how they feel.
Right.
About it.
They have torn apart the Voting Rights Act.
Mm-hmm.
This Supreme Court, they've already taken away what is what? Why can't I think of the word? Affirmative action. There you go. Affirmative action. They've already taken that away. They are tearing apart everything that Martin Luther King and JFK. They all, man, this is crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lengthy battle on this particular
it's not.
case.
They're about to lose. The Supreme Court is about to throw it out.
We know that, but
and then once that's gone, they're going to dilute the black vote as much as they can by taking out certain neighborhoods and blocks and drawing the maps to whatever they can do to make sure that the black vote is diluted across the South. All Republican states are going to run to do this
to reduce representation.
Yeah,
for
man, and basically they're
going
to make sure that it's only white majority in everything, and make sure, even though there may be a neighborhood or area, because we know America is very segregated, what they'll do is they'll just tear that neighborhood apart and put it in different areas instead of them getting representation for their neighborhood and their areas. They're going to make sure that there's no black representation throughout the South.
Right.
The Voting Rights Act at least gave us some type rights, because before then, the entire South, since the Jim Crow era, they had took away every avenue for black people to get power in the South. Doing the Voting Rights Act, they at least gave us a little bit of power in the South to be able to put some people in place to have representation for the minorities in the state. Now, black people they're at least 30% of Louisiana, I believe. Can you look that up to make sure? But Louisiana is a pretty black state, and they're saying there's going to be no black representation in Louisiana because of the way they're going to be able to draw these maps. There was only 2 areas that out of the 7 that they were given to black people, and now they because they had 2 areas, they don't want them to have any, so they took it to the Supreme Court, saying we can't make areas based off race, even though they know they are making areas based off Republican and Democrats. So if they're Republican, they're putting them in certain areas. They're knowing how they're voted, how they vote these areas. They're putting these people in these areas, these districts, and then they're taking the people they know they vote Democrat and trying to dilute them as much as they can, right, so they can't vote anyone into power throughout the whole state.
And to answer your question, they are 31% of the population.
Right, so 30%,
the whole state.
30% of the population, and you saying 30% of the population deserve no representation at all. We're going to make sure the 70% gets everything. Everybody else, we don't care. It's all good, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, but according to the AP, they say that the decision, the deadline for the decision is June of next year. So the Supreme Court has some time to weigh their decision before they publicly announce it. But the decision could come sooner than June of next year.
They want to be able to redraw the maps before next year's midterms, because they're scared they're going to lose. So they're going to try to redraw the maps before that time. So I'm thinking that they're pushing the Supreme Court to really get this answer fast, so they can have time to redraw all the maps throughout the South, for they can get more seats.
Right.
And then they can take out the black in Missouri. There was only 1 black seat left. Their plan is to take that completely out. St. Louis, a predominantly black area. Kansas City, predominantly black. Neither city is going to have any representation the way their maps are being drawn right now.
Yeah, and from what I was hearing, in Louisiana, if they get their way, the way they want to redraw the maps, that means that Republicans could gain between 12 and 19 additional seats in Louisiana, just by redrawing the maps and taking out minority representation and having them placed into that one specific district.
And it's It's crazy. And we all want fairness when it comes to representation. People should be able to represent their neighborhood, their town, their little area.
Mm-hmm.
But this is going to be a large dilution of all minority votes because they'll be able to, pick and choose what people they want to have in what areas, and they'll be able to dilute the vote of the minorities, and they won't be able to have any representation, and they'll take over. I think they said 20 seats will go to Republicans if their plan goes the way they think it's supposed to go. This is it's a sad time, man. As we watch everything that was built, and we watch Republicans spew racism, spew hate,
Mm-hmm.
and make laws telling you that racism doesn't exist anymore.
Yep.
It's pretty crazy, man, to watch this happen. And in our lifetime, we all were born after these laws were put in place, but there's people who are alive, who are living, and who marched to get these rights. And now they're all just being snatched away from people who are yelling racist tropes, coming on to my comment section saying the most racist, disgusting things they can say.
Yep.
But they're passing laws telling us that it's not there. It's not happening. They're not racist. They're not being racist. It's not happening. You're blind. You're making up stuff.
You're being a victim.
Your victim mentality. Pull yourself up. This is what they're doing. And when this happens and this gets struck down, and I'm already getting my mind to right that it's about to happen. It's going to be a free for all for the Republicans to just do whatever they want to do. Something
they already keep getting their way, just like they struck down Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. This is what happens, man.
That's what they want.
A lot of people. This is one thing that I was talking about with somebody online the other day, and they came out with that old the Republicans and Democrats are just two wings of the same bird. It don't matter. Voting don't matter. It was like, dog, this is why we lose, man. The Republicans don't think like this
at all.
They hate Democrats. While the people who are independent or the people who don't really pay attention, they're always talking about how they're the same thing. It don't matter. We got these people doing everything they can to take away representation of the smallest communities, for they won't have anybody in there. I mean, this is why it was built, because they were not giving people a chance to represent their own neighborhoods. Then you can just draw maps instead of saying, hey, this is this area. We're giving this area to them so they can have someone to represent their area. Now they're just taking it away. I mean, they're willingly just telling you in your face that we don't care anymore. We're going to draw the maps by who we think are going to vote Republican.
Mm-hmm.
And since we don't think black people are going to do that, we're going to be able to just erase them out. And then say, well, it's by race. We can't do it by race. It's not by race. It's by area. But see, what you're doing is you're taking out the areas. You're diluting the area. You're cutting areas in half. You're doing everything that you can to make sure that we know it's black neighborhoods, because we know what America is. It's a very segregated fucking place. They're sitting around talking like black and white people live right next door. Man, these places are the most segregated states in the fucking union. The maps should just be drawn off a certain mileage in certain areas. It shouldn't be one little area and then across the state, this the other part of the district. That's bull. The district should just be a certain size, a certain place, certain area. That's it. We shouldn't be able to look at people's roles, all this stuff, because it's so segregated in this country. If you just gave black people a certain area, they would already have representation, because we already know the southwest side is mostly black. This side here, the east side is mostly black.
That's exactly how it
So
goes.
if you just gave that side, that's their district, they would have representation. And you wouldn't have to think about it as race, because we already know
this is who
where certain people live there and not. But what they do is take certain blocks out, certain areas out, certain streets out, make sure to dilute this area, put them over here, take them out, instead of just putting them in as one whole, this is their area. They don't want that. They don't want us to have anyone in power.
At all.
Go look at the lines. They are laughable. It's only segregated by what? What are you talking about? How can they? What are you even saying, man? Dang, I mean, the fact that you can even open your mouth and say Democrats support racism while we're fighting for minorities is the craziest shit ever. Like you got to understand that there's a majority and a minority. You have to fight for the minorities to have representation, or the majority would just make it all about them.
Yep.
This is something that has been a problem for countries since the beginning of time. The minorities get shitted on. They get nothing. They get bad education. They get treated badly. They get the bad jobs. They get the bad this. They get the bad policing. It's ridiculous. I'm not saying that minorities have to vote Dem, but why would we vote Republican? Anybody who's black and vote Republican, on the real, I worry about you. You see the things that come from their parties. We just saw a representative with a Nazi flag on their wall, just openly hanging on the wall. We just saw a group chat of 4 or 5 Republicans from all over the country talking about watermelon and monkeys and all the racist stuff I could think of. Every day when I come on live and I get all type comments from Republicans saying the most racist, vile things that they can think of. And it's a question why we don't vote for y'all? Like, what are you talking about? Dude, we don't vote for y'all because we know you hate us. You openly hate us. Openly. You talk about black fatigue and you talk about how disgusting blacks are murderers. That was already in my comment section. Before we even started, we got people talking about all blacks are murderers. Hey man, I don't care if they trolling. If you're able to type these words and hit go, you're representing what you just posted. Trolling or not, you're the reason why you're able to post that and make a fake account and go post these things, then you're living these things. You're with it. Bro, if you're a minority and you with the Republicans, I don't know what to tell you, Mr. Eddie King Jr. Straight up. You must have some type of I don't know. I don't know how y'all ignore all the racism that comes from that party. I know it has to be hard to ignore it all. It has to be hard. And how do you ignore all the hate that comes from that? They hate black people. How do you do it? Right? How answer the question, Mr. Eddie King Jr.? You want to talk? How do you vote for people that hate you? How do you follow people that hate you, bro? How did you go into your head when you saw what the Republicans thought about you the other day? No, so you're not going to answer the question. Okay. Thank you. That's what I thought. You can't answer the question, man. You're fake because you can't answer the question. You can't be real. Answer the question how you felt if you are a minority, how you felt. How did you feel when the Republicans called you a watermelon people if you're black? How did you feel about that? These are people that are in charge. How'd you feel? How did they make you feel since, the Democrats, the plantation, as y'all always say? It's the plantation. How did you feel when they called you the watermelon people? Hey dog, y'all crazy. It's insane. Yeah, I remember the Cubans for Trump. Trump pulled right. Laughing at them people, man. Laughing at them. Dude, Joshua 407, get out of here with that racist stuff. Please. I wish y'all would come up with some more racist talking points. Y'all need to have a racist meeting. Come up with some new racist talking points. Because I am sick of, why come 13%, dude? That number never matches. Everybody got a different number. The 13%, y'all, every week, y'all say the same stuff. Oh, did you know the Democrats are the ones that they the ones that created the KKK 200 years ago? Did you know that? Like, dog, y'all really can't come with anything better? You can't name the person that supposedly name what? What are you talking about, dude? You talking nonsense. Tough luck 05, 65. Straight nonsense. Who's the leader of the Democratic Party? That's a good question, man. We have some decent leaders of some decent congressional areas. Who said watermelon? People, do y'all not watch the news? This came from the chats, man. This came from the Young Republicans chats. Like, dude, y'all have to watch what's going on, man. If you want to be able to talk and say you know this and no, you have to at least watch what's going on. Goodness. Yeah, man, that came out earlier this week when the chats were released. Yeah, I think we got JD Vance talking about it. Yeah, let's bring up JD Vance talking about the damn thing. There you go, JD Vance blame. It's down.
By focusing on what kids are saying in a group chat, grow up. I'm sorry. Focus on the real issues. Don't focus on what kids say in group chats. But there's another angle to this that I just have to be honest about. I mean, I'm like an old guy at this point. I'm 41 years old. I have 3 kids. I grew up in a different world, right? Where not most of the stupid things that I did when I was a teenager and a young adult, they're not on the internet. Like, I'm going to tell my kids, especially my boys, don't put things on the internet. Like, be careful with what you post. If you put something in a group chat, assume that some scumbag is going to leak it in an effort to try to cause you harm or cause your family harm. But the reality is that kids do stupid things, especially young boys. They tell edgy, offensive jokes. Like, that's what kids do. And I really don't want us to grow up in a country where a kid telling a stupid joke, telling a very offensive stupid joke, is cause to ruin their lives. And at some point, we're all going to have to say, enough of this BS. We're not going to allow the worst moment in a 21-year-old's group chat to ruin a kid's life for the rest of time. That's just not okay. Like, we live in a digital world. This stuff is now etched in stone online. We're all going to have to say, you know what? No. We're not doing this. We're not canceling kids because they do something stupid in a group chat. And if I have to be the person who carries that message forward, I'm fine with it.
The crazy part is this is the guy who was just on Charlie Kirk's show talking about doxing people and getting people fired and doing everything he can to hurt anyone that said anything about Charlie Kirk. Now, these guys say a whole bunch of racist stuff in the chat and, they were just kids having a good time. They were grown-ups. Most of these people are in their 30s and 40s. What is he even talking about? The thing is they never can, when it comes to racism, this party, from Trump to Vance to Stephen Miller, none of these guys can ever say, I do not stand with that. I am not with that. And that's all it takes, and they will never do it. I don't care what they say. They try. If a liberal comes out, most people say, hey, we are against violence. We are against anything that violent. What do the right do? They make jokes. They made jokes about Nancy Pelosi getting her husband getting beat with a hammer. They're joking about it. They condone these things because they won't talk them down. They won't say, hey, this is not a part of our party. They won't say that because white supremacists are a huge part of what they have going on. Huge. Now, we're not saying all Republicans are racist, but if you're racist, you're definitely a Republican. And it's not a question on that. So I mean, with it's disgusting stuff, man. These people are making excuses for this racist bull. And it's disgusting. Disgusting, man. And Trump out here talking about Antifa and the crazy left liberals, but he hasn't had anything to say about what these young Republicans have done. You know, it's wild, man. He's trying to tell us and make us believe that the left is out here burning up cities and killing people and murdering. Man, what is going on? You were done, right? All right, man. Let's go into it, man. We're gonna talk about some of the things that's going on this week. I really wanted to talk about the Louisiana versus was it Callais Supreme Court showdown over Section 2 and the right to representation. I thought I was doing that. But we're just going to talk about some of the things, man, that this means. Just go into this a little bit more, man, because this is going to be a big deal. We want everyone to have representation. You want everyone to be able to vote. You want people to be able to have someone that looks like them, that cares about their needs and the things that's going on in their neighborhoods. Now, it's easy for some people because they don't care. When you don't care about minorities and their representation, that you don't care because you don't care about other people and what they might need that may be different from you. So I understand that. Some people just don't care about other people, and that's the stance that a lot of people are going for nowadays. So this case it could shake the foundation of modern democracy. The Supreme Court's Louisiana versus Callais. This case isn't just about redistricting lines. It's about whether the Voting Rights Act, specifically Section 2, still protects people of color from having their political power diluted.
Exactly. So for decades, we know that Section 2 has been one of the strongest tools to fight racial discrimination, especially in voting, when the very law that stopped states from cracking and packing minority communities to silence their votes. But now, with this particular case, we see a conservative majority on the court could undo a lot of these protections.
Yeah, man. It's going to be tough. But let's start from the top. After the 2020 census, Louisiana drew a map with 6 congressional districts, but only one was majority black. 30%, they only get one area that's there is one district. This, even though black residents made up 1/3 of the state's population, they get no representation except one.
Right. But we all know that the black voters challenged that map, arguing that it violated Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. It diluted their voting power. And a federal court agreed, ordering the state to draw a fairer map with 2 majority black districts.
But that's when the backlash began. A group of white voters filed a new lawsuit claiming the new map was a racial gerrymander. They had 6 out of 7 districts. Then I had 5 out of 7, and they were mad. You still have the power. 5 out of 7 districts is yours, and you're still mad. You want them all. You only want the black people to have one district. 30% of the state, they only get one area that's theirs. They can have people that care about things that they care about for their neighborhoods. Now, they filed this lawsuit claiming the new map was racially gerrymandered, which is bull. They say Louisiana went too far by considering race at all, even though this is a part of the Voters Right Act. That's a part of it. You're supposed to give minorities, the people who are of a certain race, a chance to have representation of their area.
Mm-hmm. So now the Supreme Court is stepping in, and they've been asked for a re-agreement for next term. And the question is much deeper. This time, the question is a lot deeper. Can creating a second majority black district even be constitutional?
I mean, let's break it down why this matters. Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act was passed in 1965 to stop states from denying or abridging anyone's right to vote based on race.
Yep. Originally, it only applied when you could prove intentional discrimination, which is very hard to do in the first place. But in 1982, Congress amended it so that you could also prove effects, meaning that if a law or map ended up harming minority voters, even without intent, this could still be illegal.
Right. So if they draw maps that doesn't help black people and it's hurting black people in that district, then that is against the law. It shouldn't be for the law to be able
Right.
to switch the camera, bro. You know, that shouldn't be legal for people to be able to put black people in these districts and then they have no say in what's going on. And basically what happens is their vote is diluted. So what, like I said, what they think and may be good for their neighborhood may not be good for the other neighborhoods.
Right.
And they get hurt by these things. And those are the things that happens. Black neighborhoods started getting, they're the ones that start seeing the brunt of all the taxes and all these things that hurt the black neighborhoods, but may be okay in the richer neighborhoods that they're putting them in the same districts. And why would they care about the other people when the only thing they have to worry about is the majority? We don't have to worry about that little 5-6% neighborhood. They're going to just fall off and no one's going to care. That's where the concept of vote dilution comes in. States have long used two dirty tricks: tracking, splitting black or Latino voters across multiple districts to weaken their influence. This is what they do. This is what they've been doing across the South forever. They put all the black people in one little area to make sure that they don't have much power throughout the state.
Yep.
They can't make decisions through this for their city because they don't have power over the districts in their cities, because the people who do have the power don't even represent them and they want the destruction of their area. And that's usually what happens. That's when you be like, why are all the black areas so tore up? Well, we have no representation. We have no people that care about our areas. Nobody gives a fuck. So the people who do give a fuck, they're in the Senate and the state Congress. They're not passing anything to help the black areas. They're not doing any laws or giving any money to any of these areas. Why would they do that? The majority of the people that I care about in the district are living here. So this little area, I don't care about them. Who cares if it falls apart? Who cares if it's a hellhole? And then they just point and laugh at them. They get no money from budgets. They get no policing. And if it is policing, it's over policing. You get no investments. You get no new buildings, no new housing. Everything is tore up and dilapidated. This is what they do. They also pack. It's called packing, cramming them into one district so their votes don't matter anywhere else, to make sure that they can't make any decisions for the state or for their constituents or people and their citizens in their areas. They can't do anything. They're at the whim of the people who don't give a fuck about them.
Right. Exactly. And that's exactly what Louisiana did. That's why the civil rights group said, hey, we need a second district here. We need the second district, because without it, black voters can't elect candidates who represent their interests. But,
here they go.
That's the conservative strategy anyway. So,
dude, unleash Iesha, man. Please get out of here with that garbage. Straight up. Everything gets damaged. But there's supposed to be investment to be able to bring new things to fix up what's being damaged. But in the black neighborhoods across the city, things are not being fixed. Things are not being updated. Schools are falling apart. Foundations are coming apart. You have to have investments in neighborhoods. If there's no investments, then it's definitely going to fall apart. Nature is going to reclaim it. That's what happens. They do nothing but over police. They do nothing to invest. They put nothing in new areas. They give people no chance to own their own neighborhoods.
Right.
You got to understand in the early 1900s and 1950s, how much land was given away, how many homes were given away to people trying to find a better place. Why don't those things ever happen in black neighborhoods? They are intentionally destroying these places, intentionally. We see when we go to areas like St. Louis, East St. Louis, it's one person who owns all these houses. He won't fix up anything because it doesn't it doesn't pay for him to fix it. He just waits till it gets to the piece of pile of shit. Wait till everybody's gone, and then he invests. And dude, it's just tricky stuff, man. What they do. And all these places that they do this to, and we watch East St. Louis fall apart. They do these things on purpose. They're not going to fix the city while there's a lot of black people there. They're going to wait till they all gone. The city dies all the way. And then they'll buy the areas back, and then they'll gentrify.
Pennies on a dollar.
Right, exactly. So here's the thing, man. Republicans in Louisiana and across the South aren't just fighting over one map. They're pushing a long-term legal strategy to weaken our outright gut.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. Because this isn't just about fairness. Ultimately about how much power can they obtain. If Section 2 loses its teeth, those same lawmakers can draw whatever maps they want to, no matter how racially unfair they may be.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that fewer seats for minority voters in Congress, in the state legislatures, and even in the city council.
Mm-hmm.
Even in their own local government, less seats, less representation.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they want.
Of course.
They're not hiding it. They're open with it. They don't want minorities to have representation. That's the mission. You know, we saw them laugh when they were the new Texas districts is taking out Jasmine Crockett's district. They laugh, oh, you won't have a seat anymore. They love it.
Love it.
They love it. They love it. They love the cheat. This is what they've done forever. But if you remember, after slavery, a lot of black representation in the South before they started cheating and figuring out we got to cheat. Because at first it was so many black people in these areas, they did whatever they could. And these people won. People went out and vote until the KKK came and started taking people's rights to be able to go and vote. Doing everything they can. Republicans don't do anything for blacks. Stop it, Chris Lohman. Stop it. You don't even believe in races. Y'all are all colorblind the way y'all live y'all lives, right? Stop saying garbage. Let's be honest. They're using the Constitution's equal protection clause as a weapon. We are sitting here talking about Republicans taking away representation of black voters, and you're gonna sit here and tell me that y'all do more? Like, it's so no. Here y'all go. I guess you wasn't here earlier. Whatever your name is. Oh goodness. Constitution's equal protection clause as a weapon. That's what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They're claiming that using race to fix racism is somehow unconstitutional.
Exactly.
But the crazy part is the Supreme Court is about to let this slide.
Exactly. And it's this twisted colorblind argument that they're using, pretending that racism no longer exists, even as the effects of discrimination remain. They're saying that you can't consider race to make things fair, even though race was one of the things that became unfair in the first place.
They want to be racist and then ignore racism.
Right.
and act like it doesn't exist at
It
the
don't
same
exist,
time.
but I can still be racist.
That is the crazy. Hey, man, please stop saying the KKK were Democrats. That was over 100 years ago. Please stop saying that, dog. I'm so sick of y'all. I don't know if y'all are bots or what the fuck y'all are. You cannot be this fucking dumb.
They are.
The conservatives were Democrats. I'm so sick of explaining this to you people, man, dog. I'm just done. I'm not gonna even talk about it. Y'all is fucking stupid as fuck. I'm so sick of that talk. Learn some more. Have a KKK Republican meeting, and please learn some more talking points because I'm sick of it. What you say? I can't see that. Oh yeah. Yeah, man. Southern Democrats. Are the South still Democrats? Is the South still filled with Democrats?
Hell no.
Fuck out of here, man. So we all know, man, this is ridiculous stuff, man. We sitting here. Oh, here you go. Soiled. You probably soiling your pants because you see a black person. You hate seeing them so much. Well, just leave my channel then, bro. Peace out. Why watch people you don't like?
Right.
I don't get it. You don't like me? Just leave. Keep scrolling. It's pretty easy. So, and this is a strategic weakening, man. Section 2 could give the GOP a built-in advantage for years, man. Some analysts say this could flip up to a dozen House seats. They love that, man. Just by reducing black representation in southern states. This has been a fight in the southern states for decades, since 400 years, man. Over 100 years.
Right. And it's not just Louisiana. If they win here, they'll take this blueprint to Georgia, Alabama, Texas, anywhere they can lock in white majorities, even in diverse states.
Oh, man, dude.
I can almost guarantee you if it wins, if they do this in Louisiana, they're going to try it here in Arizona too.
I don't know, man. That's going to be kind of hard, man. It's 40% Mexican here, Hispanic here, so I don't know how they're going to do that. But whatever, they'll try. They definitely will. The Republicans have the House and Senate here, so they definitely will try. So let's talk real life right here, man. What happens if Section 2 gets gutted like the way Republicans want this to happen?
Yeah, you'll see fewer Black and Latino representatives, not because the voters didn't turn out, but because the system is designed to drown out their voices.
Yes, Jeffrey Morris, we are from AZ. Exactly, man. Communities already fighting for better schools, health care, and for fair policing will lose the little bit of political leverage that they do have. If they are able to take out minorities and mix them in with the majority so they can dilute the votes and they won't have any representation, this is going to be, man, it's going to be bad, man. But this is what the South wants to do, and Republicans will do it if they can. And in Republican-led states, they will do everything they can to take out all the minorities. And like I said, they're going to lose political leverage. That means fewer resources for these areas that already get little to no resources in the first place. The reason why black neighborhoods look like trash is because the states that has Republican-led Congress and Senate, and usually a Republican governor, does not care about black neighborhoods, do not care about trying to fix them, do not care about trying to put good schools in there. We all know that crime is because people do not have options. They always love to talk, well, look at the crime of black people. They don't say that shit because they want to help. They say it to fit into their racist box. They care so much. They always, all of them come on here talking about 13% commit 50%. If it was true, and if you cared as much as you speak about it, you would be trying to do something to help these neighborhoods that have all this crime, but you don't. You don't care. It's a talking point for you to try to say that black people are criminals. That's all it is. You don't care why it's happening. You just want to be able to put this group down and say that you're better than them. That's all it's about for you. You don't want to. If you wanted to help, as much as y'all talk about our neighborhoods, you would think that you had ideas on how to fix the crime, but you don't. You would think that you had things in line that you've been trying to put in place that's going to help the black neighborhoods, but you don't. You just have talking points on saying that they're the criminals. You do nothing except point the finger and blame. Okay, you're talking about all black people that they're 13%, but 50% of the lot. What have you done to help change that? What have you done to try to help these places that you're speaking about all the time? Because if I spoke about a place all the time, I would care about that place. I would give a fuck about what's going on with those people. That's not why you're talking about it. It's just like my boy said, it's racist dog whistles. That's it. So, like I said, fewer resources, fewer allies in Congress, and a system that stops listening to them. Mm-hmm. They already don't listen to us.
Right.
They don't care about anything we say, anything that we want. They don't care.
Right, because it's not about politics. It's about survival. And when you don't have any representation, your issues go ignored. They get ignored. Highway cuts through your neighborhoods. Schools get underfunded or defunded completely. And either schools close, hospitals close, businesses close. You start seeing your town dwindle.
Man.
Populations dwindle.
And it's generational, man. Once these protections are gone, man, it'll take decades to rebuild the political power. We're talking about the same hard-won rights people bled for during the civil rights movement. People fought for this, man. They got German shepherds sicked on them. Water hoses sprayed on them. Their heads cracked with billy clubs. Fighting for this to get representation in the government. And now they're all smiling, talking about how much they love Martin Luther King while ripping everything apart that this man built. It's bull, but this is where we're headed.
Yeah, it is. Because, I mean, Section 2 was meant to stop exactly this. Mm-hmm. It was the safety net against states manipulating democracy. If that net disappears, the country moves backwards. And fast.
Oh, man.
But, there are some historical parallels and some lessons that we should be learning from all of this. Mm-hmm. I mean, you shouldn't repeat history without knowing it, right?
Well, I mean, we all know what Jim Crow is. A lot of people love talking about it, especially Republicans, just to point out that they were called Democrats at that time, even though they love to leave out that word, Southern Democrats. The South, which is entirely red now.
The Dixiecrats.
Right. Now they're Republicans. They leave out that part. This was not the North that was with this. It was the South that was the Dixiecrats. So they love leaving that part out. They just be like the Democrats. No, call them what they are. Southern Dixiecrats. This isn't the first time the Voting Rights Act have been under attack. In 2013, the Supreme Court gutted Section 5 in Shelby County versus Holder, ending pre-clearance, which meant states with histories of racism no longer had to get federal approval for new voting laws. Mm-hmm. So that's why the South has been going crazy over the last 10 years, doing whatever they want because of that law was removed. They're doing everything they can to tear apart the Voting Rights Act.
Yep.
Do you understand that they're taking voting rights away from black people? Like, this is what's going on. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then right after that ruling, states like Texas, North Carolina, and Georgia rushed to pass these restrictive laws, closing polling places, purging voter rolls, and cutting out early voting.
You say there's no racism,
But then you do shit
and
like
you don't
this.
need any laws, but they immediately purge voter rolls, cut early voting, and close polling places to make sure to curtail voting rights. Immediately. The South has always been racist. They haven't stopped. And when they took this out, all the South isn't racist anymore. They don't need these laws. Immediately do the shit that we knew they was going to do. Immediately. Now they're telling people in southern states, oh, you can't give people water. They're standing in lines for voting. Like, this is craziness. And then the South isn't racist. They're doing everything they can to make sure that black people don't get their rights. It's right in your face. Right in your face. Now, 10 years later, Louisiana versus Callais threatened Section 2. The last major projection left. If this goes, protection left. If this goes, minority voters will be left defenseless.
Mm-hmm. It's like pulling out that final brick from the wall that protects democracy. You know, like when you're playing Jenga and you pull that final brick out and everything collapses.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what we're watching here in real time. And it's happening daily.
So here's the truth. This case isn't just about Louisiana. It's about who gets a voice in America. If the court rules against Section 2, it'll open the door to legalize voter dilution across the country.
Mm-hmm. The Voting Rights Act was supposed to ensure that every citizen, no matter their size, their color, or their zip code, could participate equally in our democracy. That principle is what we're now watching on trial in the Supreme Court.
Yeah, man. So these rulings, man, it's going to affect the future, man, and the outcomes of a lot of people and a lot of representation. You know, a lot of people have been mad because there's been a lot of black people on the Democratic side, and they want to end that, and they want to make sure that is done. So we got to keep fighting, man. People wondering, voting has consequences, and this is one of them. We're going to face consequences for sitting out and watching Trump win these 2 times, and they're going to gut a lot of things. But you know, this is what happens when you don't vote, man. You act like you can't get out there, or you're saying that dumb both sides crap are the same.
Mm-hmm.
Something too many people that I know love to say. Oh, both sides are the same. What side is trying to take away representation in the courts? Like, when you say that, it just lets me know that you don't pay attention to what's going on.
Until it's too late.
You don't read. You don't see any laws. You don't read any legislation. You just come out and just say stupid shit because you don't pay attention. I get so tired of seeing people say this, man. People go out here and say this while the other side is voting and changing and taking away your representation. Dumb, man. Get out and vote. Stupid stuff. All these people sitting around saying, oh, both sides are the same. Man, dude, the both side-ism is, man, dude, it's disgusting, man. I'm sick of it. Please do something else, man. Y'all gotta, man, you gotta read, man. You gotta read. So, man, we're gonna get into this next story here. And
what side is denying reporters at the Pentagon?
Yeah, man, right, exactly. In this next segment, we're going to turn our focus from the courtrooms to the streets, where Trump's ICE forces have unleashed what can only be described as organized chaos across the country, man.
Exactly. Yeah, the videos say it all. We've seen escalating violence, protesters thrown on the ground, journalists have been assaulted, and communities have been left terrified. Now there are even reports that Mexican cartels have put bounties on ICE agents' heads.
It's getting crazy, and it's only getting crazier every day. The Trump administration claims that it's restoring law and order, But what we are seeing looks something closer to a war zone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember ICE being like this just a year ago.
Right.
I know Biden, I mean, his laws at the border wasn't that great. I wish he did a better job. But his ICE was not going around beating up people, running through stores, grabbing people, throwing old people down,
Mm-hmm.
mashing cars in neighborhoods, just putting the public in a place of where they feel threatened.
Right.
Like I said, it's closer to a war zone, and it's pushing the American public to the breaking point.
Yep. Well, let's go ahead and set that scene. Let's go back to Broadview, Illinois, just outside Chicago. For weeks, protesters and journalists have gathered outside an ICE facility calling out what they say are unconstitutional raids and illegal detentions.
Tiger stripe eyes. The thing is this. Yes, I admit that Biden could have did more to keep people from coming in, but there's also a better way of taking care of this and getting people to go back to their countries. The way you all are doing it, making videos, talking shit about people, calling people criminals, that's not the way to do this. It's not the way to do this. This is the way he's doing it, throwing people all around, grabbing people just because they're brown, like getting the courts to admit that it's okay to discriminate. Racial profiling is cool. These are things that are crazy, man. Obama got a lot of people sent back, and I don't remember any of the shit while he was in office. That is not something that Fox News went at him about. And if they could, they would have.
Right.
But man, those demonstrations have been intense but peaceful until ICE and DHS agents showed up in riot gear. That's when things got violent. People were pepper sprayed, tackled, and arrested, even after a federal judge asked them to stop.
Right. That judge is Sarah Ellis of the United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois. On October 10th, she issued a temporary restraining order against ICE, Customs and Border Protection, and other DHS forces, banning them from using pepper spray balls, chemical irritants, or other excessive force on protesters and journalists.
I mean, she even made it clear you cannot arrest reporters unless they are committing a crime. They all talking about, man, we don't want to be called fascists, but I swear to God,
They do the most
they do
fascist
the
shit
most
ever.
fascist. Man, this is what look at this. Arresting journalists. Like
For
what
doing their job.
why what are y'all doing?
For doing their job.
Man. But ICE ignored that too. They ignore every judge. This is the reason why we have the judicial, the executive. That's why we have these things. It's not supposed to be just one guy making all the decision. The judge, they are a part of the whole thing. They get to make decisions, and you're supposed to listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
But Trump, hey, I'm the executive. I don't have to listen to them. Really? It's crazy, man. And the right doesn't care. Could you imagine if a Democrat was not listening to the judges? They'll be losing their minds. But ICE gets to ignore that. Within days, videos surfaced showing agents still roughing up journalists, firing pepper balls, and using flash grenades on crowds.
So Judge Ellis called them back out. And this time, she didn't hold back. She said she was startled and deeply concerned that her orders were being ignored.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
A judge gave you an order and you ignored it.
Yeah, man. That's what they're doing. That's their normal play nowadays. She even quoted her own wife in the ruling saying, he ignores everything and keeps bullying ahead. She was talking about Donald Trump, and the message was clear. This administration has no respect for judicial authority.
None.
At all.
None. Judge Ellis also pointed to videos that were circulating nationwide, including footage from Broadview showing ICE officers using the exact tactics that she had banned. People on the ground were screaming that they were peaceful. They were being peaceful. You could hear the protesters yelling, "She said no force," as agents shoved people into their vans.
Yeah, man. The judge didn't stop there. On October 16th, she expanded her order, now requiring every federal agent involved in Operation Midway Blitz to wear active body cameras whenever they're operating in Illinois. We all know they're going to ignore this and they're not going to do it because they don't listen to the judges. But this is what's supposed to happen. They're supposed to wear cameras now.
And that's a big deal because this is one of the few times in a federal court that has forced ICE to record its own actions in real time. This is accountability that they've been dodging for years. And now they're going to push back saying that they don't want to wear body cameras and they don't want to activate the body cameras when they're out in the field. It's not something we should be held accountable for. We should be able to do whatever we want with no consequences.
Oh, man. But even as Illinois tries to bring ICE under control, violence is rising in other parts of the country. We've seen reports from Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico, places where ICE raids have turned into neighborhoods into battlegrounds.
Right, exactly. Videos out of Chicago showing ICE agents pulling guns, breaking car windows, and dragging people out of their vehicles. And in several cases, children were nearby. That's not law enforcement. That's just outright intimidation.
Yeah, man, it's pretty bad. All the videos, there's so many videos now. I share a lot of them on my page on Instagram of Habari Entertainment. You can go there and see a lot of the videos, man, of them just beating everybody up. You know, they're shooting priests in the head. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But like, dude, these people, the ICE is out of control, man. I you think to yourself, man, will people treat other American citizens like? Yes, they will. They
sure
don't care.
will.
They don't care, man. They don't care about it. We got Americans out here that don't care about other Americans. This country's, man, on the brink of something disastrous. And Trump is the leader that's leading us into this mess. Now add this shit. Reports say Mexican cartels have allegedly put money on ICE agents' heads. Think about that. The Trump administration aggressive immigration crackdown has reached such hostility that it's spilling over into the criminal underworld.
Exactly. That's not restoring order. That's just creating more chaos. When you use violence to control violence, you're just pouring gasoline on fire.
That's all.
Fire with fire doesn't really negate or cancel out each other.
Man, hey, I don't think they have the right to arrest. Man, do you read anything, Anthony Tony Francis? Because I'm guessing you don't. They have arrested over 100 U.S. citizens. They are arresting regular citizens. In 12 weeks, we've seen 4 people die in there, and being with
people, 16
was it 16? I mean,
Yeah.
how many people have died? Like, they're doing a horrible job, man. They're arresting Americans. I mean, it's crazy. And you said, "Oh, it's just illegals." Like, damn, that's been over with for months now. It hasn't been illegals for I don't know how long. They grabbing people who are here on visas. They grabbing people they're getting people out who say anything bad about Charlie Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're doing anything, and it's just disgusting what they're doing. And you're a disgusting person if you're still taking up for them. Remember, Trump reactivated Operation Midway Blitz as part of his nationwide crackdown deploying ICE, Border Patrol, and even the National Guard units in so-called sanctuary cities. The result, more confrontations, more anger, and more distrust between the public and law enforcement. Someone is going to get hurt really badly in these things, man. And it's going to be Trump's fault. We all know that he would not be held accountable because the Republican Party do not hold their own accountable for anything. Anything. Yeah, Obama arrested and deported 3 million without all this mess. Quietly. Without people getting shot in the streets and people getting pit removed into other cars and neighborhoods. Dumb stuff, man.
Real dumb stuff. So let's be clear about what's really happening here. The Trump administration is not using ICE as an immigration agency anymore. They're being used as a domestic military force. Simple as that.
Yeah, man. That's what he's doing. I mean, you heard him talking to the generals the other week, and his main point was, "Hey, we gotta quell what's going on with these American citizens." He's trying to get his generals
the enemy from within
pumped, right? He's trying to get his generals pumped to go and take out fucking American citizens. Like, what is going on, man? When federal agents start ignoring court orders, assaulting citizens, and targeting journalists, that's not law enforcement. That's good old authoritarianism. And this is what Trump, he's masterful at this.
Yep. And this is what happens when power gets unlocked. Trump's ICE doesn't answer to cities, to the judges, or to the U.S. Constitution. They're answering directly to Trump. Trump King.
Yep. That's why we have a lot of people in the streets today protesting No Kings.
No King's Day.
Because this guy is really, really, really trying his best to be a king. He is telling schools what to do, private businesses what to do. He's trying to make the generals follow him. He is breaking every rule that is when it comes to the government and how things are supposed to be split up. So I don't know, man. I don't know, man. What are we going to do? And now, even as violence spirals, Trump's campaign is using these images to claim that America is out of control. He starts everything, get everybody all shook up, and then say, "Oh, look at everybody all shook up. Oh my goodness, we need more military." So he can claim that everybody is out of control, which is wild because the chaos is coming from his policies.
Exactly. It's political theater. Create the problem, then pretend that you're the only one that can solve it. Meanwhile, families are traumatized, communities are destabilized, and judges are left begging federal officers to obey the law.
Yeah, it's insane, man. It's insane. What are we going through right now? What are we going through? What are we doing? So, Judge Ellison's order is a reminder that there are people within the system still trying to stand up for justice, but they are outnumbered and overpowered by the right and their garbage right now.
And while ICE claims it's maintaining order, it's actually breaking trust, not just with the immigrants, but with the entire American public.
Yeah, man. When the government's enforcers ignore the courts and attack their own citizens, that's not safety, that's state-sponsored chaos. And it's just getting crazier every single day.
We're going to keep reporting on this, and we'll look at the human cost, the families that'll be caught in the middle, the protests spreading nationwide, and what accountability actually looks like when even the courts can't control Trump's ICE.
Yeah, man. So we're going to get into some of these clips. You're watching Habari Live on Saturday. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like being a part of the conversation. We go live on Saturdays at 11 a.m. and also on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. to talk about what's going on and how we feel about the things that are being put in place and just giving our opinion. We love to talk with the people and see your side and how you feel. So always post your comment and give us a call if you have the time, or you can send us an email at info@habarientertainment.com. Most definitely, if you want photography of you in the Phoenix area, make sure to also hit us up if you need photography, videography. We do events, birthdays, make highlight videos. Hit us up at info@habarientertainment.com, and we can make that happen for you. So let's talk about some of the clips that we've seen this week, man. And first, we're going to run this one with CNN's Aaron Burnett, and he's talking with Reverend David Black, who was shot in the head with a pepper ball by ICE while praying. We start where this. Let's go ahead and play that video. One down. There we go.
You're saying that what they are alleging there is not true. I want to show another moment, Reverend, where a large group of ICE agents are walking towards you. So here they are. They're walking towards you. They're shoving you. I just want everyone to get a chance, so now they can see you. They know who you are there. You're obviously you've got your clerical collar on. They are spraying what appears to be pepper spray at that time directly into your face. This, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe is after you had been hit with the pepper balls in the head. Do you know why they did this to you?
No, there was no warning for any of these things. After they shot me in my head and my face and multiple times in my torso, arms, and legs, I was shielded by the bodies of others who were there, who rushed in to support me and took many more hits that were intended for me. I was then guided away to a place where street medics helped to wash out my eyes and try to keep me safe, but I was completely disabled at that point. And within 2 minutes, quite a number of ICE officers, maybe 15, maybe 20, rushed out of the gate and began to shove us down. And I was already disabled on the ground, but attempted to get away. And they continued to shove us in a kettling maneuver towards a place where we would not be able to escape as they brandished their weapons. And you can see in that video, ICE officers shoving protesters who are standing and speaking and chanting and singing peacefully and praying peacefully, shoving us down and then dispensing a huge amount of chemical weapons onto us. I was drenched from the crown of my head to the socks in my shoes. It was indiscriminate and it was vicious.
I know you said that they were laughing. There were some of the agents laughing after this happened. Can you tell me more about that, what they did, and at that moment, what you thought?
Yeah, we could hear them laughing as they were shooting us from the roof, and it was deeply disturbing. We've gotten to witness a few things about these ICE agents operating in Broadview, and really what it has shown us is how disorganized they are and how poorly supervised and trained they are. We've also heard ICE agents talking to each other, one of whom said, man, I don't even remember why I'm here anymore. And the other said, I don't know either. So there's a deep demoralization that we are seeing as we're bringing this peaceful and spiritual protest against their tactics and what they are doing to our city and our communities and our neighbors. And I'm grateful to show up with these protesters, people who deeply believe in democracy and are bringing peaceful and moral witness against what the Trump administration is trying to do in Chicago.
Yeah, man. This is disgusting stuff, man.
It is very disgusting.
When you're shooting priests in the head who are just standing there, I mean, what were they really doing? Was he really doing?
Right.
How was that guy who was up on the roof in any threatening situation? He was on the roof. He had no reason to shoot that dude in the head with no paper ball. That was just disgusting stuff. These guys feel as though they can do what they want because that's what Stephen Miller is telling these people. And they're doing it. They're doing what they want, man. They're doing what they want.
Exactly. But, you know, the courts have now banned and restricted these types of tactics.
Mm-hmm.
And they do also require ID and body cams because agents have kept ignoring their warnings. So now they're required to wear their body cams, and they're also required to ID themselves, which, you know, they're going to push back on doing that also.
All right, so let's play clip 2 here. We got reporter question to Speaker Mike Johnson. and Johnson asking the question about ICE not even crossed the line yet.
Right. Pressed on clergy and reports being hit, the speaker said this. Go ahead and roll that clip.
That's my understanding. With regard to the swastika thing, this happened last night. A Republican congressman, allegedly one of his staffers had something in the background or something in a Zoom. That's what I heard this morning. He says that that's not his, and there's a proper investigation ongoing, and the congressman did exactly what he should have done, and that is report it. It's under investigation, and I can't comment on it any further until that's done.
That's fine. Yeah, so Speaker Johnson says nothing was happening, and that's after a federal judge barred tear gas and sprayed pepper balls rounds and peaceful clergy protesters and press. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's because that order was ignored. The judge escalated body cams for feds in Illinois immediately. Like, with the things that we watching these people do right now is crazy. Do we have the one for J.D. Vitcher? Did I put that up here? Pritzker. Yeah, there you go. All right, hold on. Don't play it yet.
The people who serve for the president, including all the way down.
We got Governor J.B. Pritzker on Stephen Miller ordering people to break the law. He said that we won't forget. And go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, the Illinois governor did say that the law will catch up to those that are giving illegal orders, and those that are participating in the illegal orders, you will end up prosecuted. Let's go ahead and run that clip.
The people who serve for the president, including all the way down to ICE agents, can be held accountable when there's a change of administration who's willing to hold them accountable when they break the law. Now, Stephen Miller is clearly ordering people to break the law. So, he should know that, it may be 3 years from now that he is held accountable, but make sure, I think it's important for them to know that whatever they do now, it's not like we're going to forget, and it's not like we don't have a record of what they're doing. So that is why I mentioned Stephen Miller. That's why I mentioned other people, Tom Homan and Gregory Bovino, who's the CBP leader on the ground, the one who executed their orders in Los Angeles, which was, they did an awful job in Los Angeles and created all kinds of mayhem on the ground. Now he's doing it in Chicago. And so all these people need to recognize that, you may have immunity because Donald Trump's willing to pardon anybody that's carrying out his unlawful orders, but you're not going to have it under another administration.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing with these people, man.
It's real.
They think that they can do whatever they want to, and there is no consequences. And then when the next administration comes in and holds them to account for what they have been doing, then they're like, oh, they're going after us. He's weaponizing the GOJ. Like, they're crazy, man. You commit crimes and then get mad and say that it's being politicized when the people come after you for committing the crimes.
Right.
And that's what they're doing right now. They're committing so many crimes. They're not listening to judges. They're not listening to anybody. They're doing whatever the hell they want. But then when their administration steps down and the next one see all the crimes that they've been committing, they're supposed to ignore them, or they're politicizing the DOJ.
Right.
Like, this is the crap that's going on right now. Now, this follows days of clashes outside of Broadview and a court mandate for body cams. These people still are doing what they want to. Weaponization receipts that we've been seeing. Clip 4, Adam Mockler, who's been doing a good job taking these people apart online, presses for evidence, cites Trump's DM to Pam Bondi, and different things. Go ahead and run that clip. Yeah. Where is it? There it goes. Scott. CNN Scott. Up. Yep.
Oh, Scott, that's not what we're talking about here. We are talking about Donald Trump's role in directing his attorney general about who to prosecute. That's what we're talking
Who
about.
then has to go to a grand jury and present evidence and go through the process like everybody else in this country.
But the first prosecutor, Eric Siebert, didn't want to do it, so Trump forced him out. I love watching the conservatives. Listen, I love watching the conservatives on this panel dodge and weave with zero evidence whatsoever of any weaponization. I've asked you this multiple times, and you have no evidence, yet Donald Trump tried to send Pam Bondi a DM. This should be embarrassing that you are defending the President of the United States as he is directly asking.
I'm defending a process of grand juries that's existed in this country for a very long time.
Scott Jennings is always wrong with his little smug face and his little ugly decisions that he's always following Trump. You know, the dude that Trump can do no wrong to Scott Jennings. None. Nothing. But Adam Moskler asked, where's the evidence? And pointed to Trump's DM to his Attorney General, Pam Bondi. And we've seen that the clip of what Bondi talk and what he's talking about as Trump outwardly asked for people to be arrested.
Exactly. But I mean, multiple outlets did report that Trump mistakenly posted that directive publicly.
Oh my goodness.
So it wasn't supposed to be a Truth Social post. It was supposed to be a text message directly to Pam Bondi.
So J.D. Vance, who was cut off on live TV, Vice President Vance tried to steamroll an interview and got cut off. Let's go ahead and roll that clip, man. We should have it.
J.D. Vance.
Not that one. Is it that one? I think that's the other one. There we go.
What you might call the deep state, where they almost automatically assume that left-wing political violence is protected by the First Amendment and right-wing political violence is a crime. And you sort of see just that the basic muscle memory, the basic sort of apparatus of government is very, very primed at right-wing political violence. But the instinct is to almost say, well, no, that left-wing political violence, that's actually protected by the First Amendment. So no, political violence, wherever it comes from, is just not protected by the First Amendment. And because we have such a big problem with left-wing political violence, we have to train the investigatory and law enforcement powers of the government to focus on that particular problem. Now, I think Scott maybe has the most important part of this, because a lot of this is financial, right? If a brick gets thrown through a wall in a government building, who bought the brick? If somebody shows up and is a paid protester, but then that person goes and riots and commits an act of violence, who paid for it? If you have an application that's helping people hunt down or even avoid law enforcement officers, if you're helping immigrants avoid illegal immigrants avoid ICE enforcement, but you're helping people actually target the law enforcement officers who are trying to enforce our immigration laws, well, who's paying for the hosting there? Who's paying for the programming? There's an entire financial element of this, but we really have to retrain the entire government to focus on this left-wing violence problem. We're doing it. It's going to go a little bit more slowly than we'd like, but we are doing it.
Go ahead, bring us back, man. I don't know why it's doing that. But that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. This is just garbage. They're trying to act like, and they've charged a group of people as Antifa. These people have not said anything about Antifa. They have not posted an Antifa manifesto. They're just going to charge them as Antifa. This is the flimsiest charges I've ever. It's not going to fucking stick. It's so stupid. They're so desperate to make an enemy out of the people. They're trying their best to make an enemy out of Americans. Like, dog, it's crazy. These people ain't our Antifa. They're just against ICE and what they're doing and the disgusting way they're treating people right now. It's ridiculous, man. And it's part of the pattern. As the White House spins law and order while courts push back in Chicago, J.D. Vance, he wants to retrain the entire government. We watched the video. He wants to target left-wing violence, man. They want to go after Antifa. Their main enemy is the anti-fascist group. So you guys are fascists? Oh, boy. Y'all, man, I mean, they don't understand the optics of this. Their number one enemy is the anti-fascist. The guys that hate fascists. That's your number one person that you're going against? So you're the fascist then, right? Like, I mean, y'all are openly admitting this is what you are. That's why most wouldn't even mess with this. They would leave it alone because they're not a real group. But whatever. Vance saying the quiet part out loud, man. Being an idiot.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Let's go ahead and note that the DOJ's prior data showed that the far right groups driving most of the domestic terror, and data that vanished from DOJ's site this past September. I think we have a clip from that. No, we don't.
No.
Okay, no problem. But I mean, that's a culture war happening, right? Young Ohio Republicans grill Vivek Ramaswamy on being Christian at a Charlie Kirk event. And then, it's crazy because how are you going to blast him for being Christian? At the Turning Point event in Ohio, Christian. That mask slips. Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
They're blasting him for not being Christian, not for being Christian. Is Ramaswamy is up? Go up. Right there. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ is God, and there is no other God. He is part of the Holy Trinity, and any other God is a demon, and it's false. How can you represent the constituents of Ohio who are 64% Christian if you are not a part of that faith? If you are an Indian, a Hindu, coming from a different culture, different religion than those who founded this country, those who grew this country, built this country, made this country the beautiful thing that it is today, what are you conserving? You are bringing change. I'll be 100% honest with you. Christianity is the one truth.
Christian voices should be the main voice of America, and I want to know basically why you seem to be, and I don't mean to be horribly offensive, but why you seem to be masquerading as a Christian.
You familiar with the 10 Commandments?
You call yourself a Hindu, but you also call yourself Christian.
I don't call myself Christian. I call myself a Hindu. I'm not running to be pastor of Ohio. I'm running to be governor of Ohio, and I didn't run to be pastor of America. I ran to be president of the United States of America. What's your faith?
I'm a Christian. Follower of Jesus.
Great. Do you believe in the Holy Trinity? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit?
I think a lot of people here do. So
good. And that doesn't make you a polytheist, does it?
Probably not, no.
Great. And so in my faith, I believe there's one true God. He resides in all of us, and he appears in different forms, but it's one true God. So I'm an ethical monotheist. That's the way I would describe my faith. Do you think it's inappropriate for someone who's a Hindu to be, say, a U.S. president?
No, I think it's... No, well...
You be honest.
Isn't Hinduism...
Well, because you're an Indian.
I can ask yourself that Hinduism believes in Shiva and what is it? The flute god. I forget.
Right, Krishna. Who's you thinking of?
Yeah, Krishna. But isn't Charlie Kirk's organization founded on Christian values as well? And isn't the United States of America also, based on what Protestantism is, based on how those values are? Wouldn't that contradict what your beliefs are?
Like I said, I'm not here to justify my faith to you any more than you are to me, but what I do share is the value set this country was founded on. And I think that it's really important that we not reinvent the founding of this country and what it was actually.
He was so right.
Bring us back, man. I don't understand how Vivek Ramaswamy can even associate with these people.
Me either.
They don't respect you, bro.
At all.
They don't respect nothing you have brought to the table. They don't want you to be a part of that stuff, what they're doing. They really believe if you're not a Protestant, you're not a Christian, you're not a part of their group.
If you're not a white Christian.
Like, I don't understand why these people keep running to them. They hate you. And they just openly told you to your face, you can't be a part of them. You keep acting like they are all these brown people running over there acting like they don't like y'all. And they openly tell you to your face all the time. But what do? Oh, I love them. Stupid. We're fighting against woke. You're dumb. They hate you. You fighting the war, and they're going to, at the end, while you kill the other side, you will be next.
Yep.
Open bigotry in public, man, at a political event. That's what that was. Exactly. So That we already saw that. I think we did we play that one when he was talking about Mike Johnson was talking about the Nazi gaff. There should have been two. And I guess to play the other Mike Johnson, that one. That's fine.
That's my understanding. With regard to the swastika thing, this happened last night. A Republican congressman, allegedly one of his staffers had something in the background or something in a Zoom. That's what I heard this morning. He says that that's not his, and there's a proper investigation ongoing, and the congressman did exactly what he should have done, and that is report it. It's under investigation, and I can't comment on it any further until that's done, but I will say, obviously, that is not the principles of the Republican Party. We stand for the founding principles of America. You want me to articulate them for you right now? Individual freedom, limited government, the rule of law, peace through strength, fiscal responsibility, free markets, human dignity, the things that lead to human flourishing. We have stood against that. We fought the Nazis. We defended that evil ideology. We roundly condemn it, and anybody in any party who espouses it, we're opposing.
Sorry, bro, but most of those principles you just stated, especially free market, while Trump is going around willy-nilly putting fucking tariffs on everything, while he's telling private companies how they should run their companies and who they should hire, the principles of the Republican Party has been thrown out the window since Donald Trump walked in the door. So you stating those principles is trash. Trash. You're not the party of law and order. You're not the party of Christian values. You're none of that. You pardon January 6 people. You with a dude who talked about grabbing pussies. You are been over with. Ain't no Republican values no more. You are the party of people hanging Nazi flags on the walls. You are the party of people chatting about the watermelon people, calling people N-words. Motherfuckers shaped like the Kool-Aid man, but they think they the best race. The funniest looking people I've ever seen in my life, trying to tell people that they're the master race and the best. Get the fuck out of here. Dude can't even run a block. Talking about how he better than black people. All those dudes was over 300 pounds, most of them. Sitting there talking about how they better than somebody else. Man, you don't get up out of here, man. Man, get up out of here. You're not better than none of us. They got swastikas, dog. This has been a bad week for the Republican Party. And y'all should be embarrassed for this shit, but you're not. Because you know this the truth and this is what y'all stand for today. Mm-hmm. You got caught with swastika flags. You got caught with a racist ass of leaders of the party. Racist chats. JD Vance taking up for it. Everybody acting like was Let's watch what Mitch McConnell did when they tried to ask him a question. Let's watch what he did.
My name is Stella. I want to ask, do you support ICE taking working people off the streets and kidnapping them?
Oh shit. Oh, shit.
Tripped over his own 2 feet.
Nah, man. I mean, get the fuck out of here, man.
You ain't gotta have help walk all the way out the building. 2 people gotta walk you out.
Get the fuck out of here, Mitch. Stuntman Mitch. Man, that was the fakest fall I ever seen in my life, bro. Now I know, dude, he has issues with falling and stuff, but that was fake.
Real fake.
That was not real. That was a fall to avoid accountability and questions. I'm 100% that he did that on purpose. That was not real. He had it in his mind that he was going to fall, and you could see him starting to grab for dude for he could fall. I mean, I mean, dog. Oh my goodness, man. The Republican Party, boy. Yeah, man. I'm happy that he is retiring. This is his last time running. I'm really happy, but it's definitely he needs to lay it down earlier. He needs to quit right now. When you can use falling as an excuse to not answer questions, it's time to lay it down. It's time. It's time, Mitch.
Just retire.
You've done it. You've done everything you can. You blocked Merrick Garland. You made sure Obama didn't get any judges. You did your thing, man. You played your racist part. Now go on back to Kentucky and get some other racists to take your place. Now let's go to the clip, man, of Trump going after more of his enemies, as we see John Bolton. Do I have that? There we go, John. And we have John Bolton turning himself in.
Security advisor John Bolton arriving at a United States District Court in Greenbelt, Maryland. He is expected to surrender after being indicted on 18 counts over the alleged mishandling of classified documents. Bolton faces 8 counts of transmission of national defense information and 10 counts of retention of national defense information. The documents contained intel on future attacks, foreign missile launches, and human intel sources.
I've never been a John Bolton fan. He's definitely a warmonger. He's definitely someone that I've never been a fan of. But this is bull. This is bull. This stuff happened years ago. He's doing anything he can to lock up people that don't like him. I'm not a fan of Bolton, but this is not right. It's not right. The DOJ under Biden did see no wrong that this man did. Mm-hmm. No charges was brought against this dude. No one saw anything that this dude did until Trump gets into the office, and then it's all of a sudden he took notes that he wasn't supposed to take when you were the president.
Right.
It sounds like you're making this up. It sounds like you're making this up. Now, Bolton did surrender. He did plead guilty in the classified case. It's a disgrace that this has to happen, man. Disgusting stuff. I mean, they all hollered that the DOJ was weaponized under Biden. It's Biden, I can say a lot of people said that they shouldn't have went after Trump. They should have just let Trump do whatever he want to because they felt as though this was going to be the backlash. Mm-hmm. So the man should just get away whatever he wants to. He was found guilty. Found guilty. Why are you here then, dude? Go do what you need to do. Go do what you need to do, bro. You got a loser mentality, Big West's life. Go do something else. It's an 18-count indictment, man, under the Espionage Act. Transmission and retention allegations because the man took notes.
Right.
Yeah, man. So Trump, he's showing this arch model that he's saying he's going to get built in the Washington Mall. Mm-hmm. This guy is trying to build everything he can while he's in Washington to make sure that there's some type memory of him and his presidents. And it's sad because we know everybody. I'm not everybody. 77 million people voted for the clown, but most people hate this dude. And him trying to be desperately remembered is just so disgusting. Nobody likes him. No one cares. But he wants to put this little model. I mean, this little arch thing up. It's going to be disgusting. But I think we have the clip of Trump showing it to everybody, and everybody sitting around laughing like he's so fucking funny. That's how you know you got a whole bunch of clowns. Everything he say, everybody, this dude is not funny. But anyway, go ahead and run the clip, man. Trump showing this stupid model of this building he once built. Trump's arch.
Small, medium, and large.
Making a mockery out of this dude.
I happen to think the large looks quite fun.
What is this, Mr. President?
Thank you guys. It's going to be built.
Thank you all. You come this way. Thank you. For who? Yeah, no, I know where it is, but who's it for?
Thank you guys.
The arc to Trump.
Not immediately clear how it's going to be paid for.
How you think it's going to be paid for? Just like the ballroom he's building. He's building all this crap, spending all our money, sending money to Argentina, billions sent to there. Now, if this was Joe Biden who sent all that money to Argentina, Fox News would be losing their mind. Why is he sending money to Argentina? They didn't want money sent to Ukraine. They hated when Biden was helping them. They were losing their mind. They wanted Ukraine to lose. They didn't care. Now Trump gets in office, whatever, send money, whatever, do whatever you want. You can kill the farmers, bail them out again. That's fine. That's fine. Bail them out. Do whatever. If this was a Democrat, they would be already taxed enough already because of these tariffs. Obama didn't even raise the taxes, and they talking about the Tea Party. Like dumb shit, dog. Did anybody arrest y'all when y'all was doing the Tea Party stuff, when y'all were against Obama and y'all marched? Anybody arrest? Did they send the National Guard in for you guys when y'all marched talking about the Tea Party? Did anybody do that? Did anybody call y'all criminals against the government when the Democrats were in charge and y'all marched against them? No one had a problem. Because showing your First Amendment right and protesting is something that everyone is supposed to be able to do. But when it's Republicans in charge, all of a sudden it's bad. Protesting bad. Burning flags bad. Standing up for your rights bad. Goddamn shame, man. While government workers go unpaid, the president is pitching a triumphal arch near Arlington. This is what this dude is focused on. He displayed the three sizes, favoring the largest near the Memorial Bridge by Arlington Cemetery. This is what he's pushing for. It's disgusting stuff, man.
Real disgusting.
So from clergy shot with pepper rounds to courts ordering body cams to a vice president saying he'll retrain the government. This isn't law, man, and order. It's power and impunity.
Mm-hmm. When the power meets protest, you get Broadview. We'll keep the receipts, and we're going to keep rolling the tape, and we're going to keep keeping you informed, keep coming back with updates.
Mm-hmm.
So hit that like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can see when we go live, when we make a post.
I have to disagree with you, Dr. Decker. You have to help others, man. You have to help other countries. There's situations where other countries are going to need help, and we should help them. We shouldn't leave people, and I think that it's something that we should have learned during World War II. The Jews were getting murdered. We kept saying we're not going to do anything to help. We're not going to help. We're not going to help until it got to a point that it was too late. A lot of them died because we took the time, our time, and we just sat around saying we don't want to help them. So I'm not going to sit there. I'm not going to say I agree with you, but we should help Americans to make sure that Americans are okay, but we don't do that. Republicans love to say we don't want money to go to other places, but when the poor is asking for money and they need help, y'all are the first people to say pull yourself out by your bootstraps. Mm-hmm. Y'all are the first people to take funds away from the poor. Y'all don't believe in social programs unless it's helping the farmers, and then they can sit around and say pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Then they get subsidies. They get all type of bailouts. Poor people, they don't get that. You're just looking for a handout. You don't want to work. That's y'all. That's the way y'all run shit. That's y'all whole thought pattern. But when it comes to you and when you need help and the farmers need help, we need help. It's all good then. It's all good. Like, man, we have to do better, man. The aid that goes out helps. It helps to build relationships. It helps to help countries out that are dying and people are dying. We're supposed to help those people. That's the mission of America. People who are rich, the haves, are supposed to help the have-nots. all of you say that you're people that love the Bible, but that's what Jesus stood for, right? Helping those who didn't have it. Isn't that why he created the things and giving people fish, giving the poor things? While you guys sit around yelling, talking about, oh, stop looking for him. We don't want welfare. We don't want anything. Like, that's the Republican plan.
No help for anyone.
Just don't help anybody. We all want America to be a better place, man. But where we're headed right now with the Trump administration is a dark place, man. We're not doing things that's helping this country come together, man. They are dividing. We got people like Caroline Leavitt saying garbage. And they saying that we're with the left is with Hamas, is what they said. Like, what are we doing? It's been a great 2 hours, man. We really appreciate everybody that commented and came on and discussed what's been going on. I really appreciate everybody that subscribed, followed. But if you can, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, hit the share button. Make sure you're here on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. We're going to be live again, talking about the news for the week that's happened so far the week, and much, much more.
Help us get to that 10,000.
Yes, help us get to 10,000, please. We're trying our best to get to 10,000.
We hit 6,000 today.
Let me see.
We got
Habari, you try to
4,000 to
vet
go.
me, but you dude here can't look up. What are you talking? TJ, what are you talking about, bro? But anyway, we appreciate you guys, man. And until next time, peace out.
Holla, holla.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news, the podcast, and more. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to visit www.habarientertainment.com. See you next week. Peace.